everyone, and welcome to Coffee Talk in the Athletic Training Room. I'm your host, Brandon Platt. Thank you so much for joining us for another great episode. We're going to get back into the injury side of things today after a heavy episode last week, I know, but hopefully you all found it insightful. If you're not a member of the Athletic Training Room and you are an athletic trainer or a sports medicine physician, you should be. What are you waiting for? If you're on Facebook, check it out, the Athletic Training Room. Request to join. Make sure that you fill out all the questions so we know who you are. It's easier to validate. We do vet everybody who comes in, so we make sure it's for athletic trainers, athletic training students, and sports medicine professionals. Thank you to our sponsors who are integral in making sure that we are meeting our mission to provide the very best support and tools to our athletic training colleagues. First of all, thank you to Firefly Recovery, your trusted partner in your journey to wellness. Whether you're an athlete looking for optimal performance or someone seeking relief from daily discomfort, Firefly Recovery provides cutting-edge solutions to accelerate your recovery and reduce pain. Check out the link in the description to request your samples today. Also, thank you to BSN Medical and Essity Company and their sports medicine division, Actimove. They are a trusted name in sports injury care and prevention as the official supplier and manufacturer of Coach Tape, Elasticon, Zonus, and other industry-leading products. Actimove empowers athletes and active individuals to perform at their very best by staying protected. Make sure you visit actimove.us to learn more about their full range of reliable, high-quality sports medicine solutions that keep you moving forward. Trust Actimove to provide the supports you need to stay in the game. Trusted for a reason. Today, I want to get into something that's been in the news a lot lately, of course, as what hasn't, right? And that is something we talked about a little bit earlier on, and a lot of it was preventative, but I want to talk about the actual reasons for the injuries. And no, it is not ACL. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Today I want to talk about the actual injury rates in UCL injuries. More specifically, I want to talk about the reasons that it's happening. Now, we've seen this rash of obviously UCL injuries, which for those listening, ulnar collateral ligament of the elbow in baseball pitchers. We've seen an increase, obviously, over recent years. There's been a lot put out by Dr. Andrews and Andrews Sports Medicine and ASMI researching biomechanical reasons, epidemiological reasons, potentially for this increase in UCL injuries, as well as numerous new techniques coming out, like the internal brace, across the country to help those who need repairs instead of reconstruction, speed up the recovery a little bit. But recently, obviously, there's been a lot of talk, particularly in Major League Baseball, professional baseball, and obviously eventually, so it hasn't been already, trickling down into college baseball, about the pitch clock. And does the pitch clock cause a difference or an increase in injury rates? And the data is kind of mixed. Everything I've seen has suggested that it probably hasn't necessarily. Although the more injuries that are occurring, the more people are pointing to the pitch clock. Why? It's a new rule. It's new. It's different. This is the factor that is standing out, right? And it's the thing that is the elephant in the room. It's the one thing that's different. It's one of these things is not like the other, and the pitch clock is the issue. And I get it in theory, and I can see why there's this the argument, right? And to be perfectly fair and full disclosure, I don't know what the answer is. I haven't dove into the data enough to really give you a definitive answer. I'm just here to kind of spark discussion and spark thought process, and that's what I want you all to do. I want you to think about some of these things. Could it be a reason for increase in UCL injuries? Theoretically, yes. We're talking about decreased time between pitches while throwing the same number of pitches at a higher velocity, which is going to lead to increased fatigue, which is going to lead to a deterioration in mechanics, our increase in fatigue and our support musculature, and our biomechanics is going to obviously lead to more stress at the elbow, which in turn is going to lead to a higher rate of injury because the tendon itself, the ligament itself is already at a maximum or super maximal tensile force. What does that mean? Well, obviously, because if we get to a point where we're not supporting the elbow enough, those forces are so great that we're already at or beyond the ability of the ligament to support itself, and it's going to snap. Particularly when we start talking about micro loads being placed on it over and over and over and over again over 10, 15, 20, 30 years since these guys have been pitching, a lot of them their whole life. And I think the thing to think about there, yes, all of that is true. All of that is true. But is it the pitch clock that's causing the problem? Is it the lack of recovery between pitches that is causing the problem? And I think that there's something to be said for that, but I think the one thing we're missing in all this argument, and I'm not arguing against it, please don't get me wrong, the one thing we're missing in all this argument is the fact, is that higher velocities standpoint. Never before in the history of Major League Baseball have you seen every single guy out of the bullpen to a man throwing 96 plus. And that's what's happening right now. It is the velocities, in my opinion, that are causing more of the issue. Everybody is radar gun dependent. Since they are in Little League, they are radar gun dependent. It is a radar gun position. The radar gun is causing more harm, in my opinion, to elbows than the pitch clock. Is the pitch clock helping? Absolutely not. It is not. If you take the pitch clock out, are you going to have similar rates of UCL tears this year? I contend probably, yeah. It's probably not going to be exactly the same. It may be a little lower, but statistically speaking, we're probably going to be pretty close. Now, I could be dead wrong. You could come to me in 10 years and say, look, this is what the data says. You were way off in this. And that's very possible, but just statistically speaking and knowing what we know about the increased tensile loads, when we start talking about increase in ball velocity, especially the fastball, putting more stress on the elbow than any other pitch because of the increase in velocity, we can say with certainty that definitely is a factor. And when every guy in the major leagues is throwing 96 plus, when guys are coming out of college, when I started working in college, if a guy was throwing 90, that was, I mean, you were bringing it. Again, we're talking more than a decade ago. In the last 10, 15 years, now everybody's throwing 93, 94, particularly when you start talking about Power 5. Everybody's 94 to 96. Guys out of the bullpen, back out of the bullpen guys are 96 to 98. If you're a guy that doesn't get in if you don't throw over 93. So, I mean, here's the deal. Right-handed, left-handed, it doesn't matter. The increase in velocities and the stress put on velocities, and here's how you throw harder because that's what gets eyes on you instead of learning how to pitch, ultimately is probably causing more damage than the pitch clock itself. Now, that being said, is it helping? No, it's not helping. Is it an issue that Major League Baseball does not need right now? Yeah, it is. And they have to address it. And obviously there's this a strong rebuttal against it. I think we have to wait for the data to come out. I think we need to collect more. I think we're really in the infancy stage of this because we're only in, year 2 of the pitch clock? Now, as a traditionalist, I'm not a big pitch clock fan. Particularly in the playoffs. I think it takes away from the game a little bit. I think that it's fine that it speeds up the game. I'm fine with that. I think it's fine that it keeps guys moving. But I think there are intricacies to it, and there are things along with the pitch clock rule that are hurting the game and honestly deciding games. And I don't think that was ever the intention of the pitch clock. How many games have we seen with the pitch clock ending a game because of a strike 3 call because the guy looked up at 7.5 seconds instead of 8, right? I mean, it happens. How many at-bats are taken away from guys because of the pitch clock violation or whatever? I mean, I think that there's things to be said for it. I think that there are aspects to the rule that are good. I think there are aspects to the rule that are brutal, personally, my personal opinion. But then again, as athletic trainers, maybe it gets us off the field faster in a sport that doesn't have a clock. So maybe we should be thankful for it. I don't know. But what I do know is I don't know that there's enough data out there right now to say with any certainty that there is a pitch clock issue when it comes to UCL tears. I think the jury's out. I think it's something to keep an eye on. I think it's something to track. I think it's something to keep in mind. But I do not think we need to jump to that conclusion, because I don't think it's fair to jump to that conclusion. So my 2 cents, but I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. Let's discuss, man. Like that's what this is all about. If you're in the athletic training room, discuss away. Let's hear it. Do you think the pitch clock is causing more UCL tears? Do you have data to back it up? I'd love to see it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'd be the first one to admit it. So that's just kind of my opinion based on what I've seen and kind of the thoughts I've been putting into this over the last week, and putting everything together, which is why there's not a live episode today, because I really wanted to make sure I had all my thoughts together before we really jump into this conversation. Hey man, athletic trainers, it's almost summer. It's almost summer. You guys are almost done. Well, let's be fair, we're never really done. But hey, school year's almost over, which changes things. Maybe your schedule changes a little bit. Hey, we got some summer events coming up for those of us working PRN. For those of us not, if you're a baseball, softball, track, spring sport athletic trainer and you get a couple weeks off after the season's over, congratulations. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're getting into conference tournament season for softball. Baseball is just a couple weeks away. Track conference is going on right now. Obviously, golf conference, I think, just ended for most conferences. So starting to wind down. You guys are almost there. Congratulations. We're grinding away, man. But some great events coming up this summer. And hey, take your vacations when you need it. If you need a break, take a break. Go to the beach, go to the lake, whatever it happens to be, whatever helps you unwind. And maybe that recharge is exactly what you need. Like we talked about last week, burnout's a real thing, and so make sure you take your chance to get away when you can. And if you do get away, make sure you check out Land Pirate Apparel. Land Pirate LLC is the ultimate destination for adventurous, high-quality apparel. Whether you're blazing a trail through the urban jungle or exploring the great outdoors at the lake or at the beach, Land Pirate is a great gear designated for bold, the daring, and those who embrace the spirit of adventure. Visit the link in the description to check out all the great products they have. And hey, use promo code DATGirlDad to receive a special 15% discount on your next purchase. Unleash your inner explorer with Land Pirate. Check it out. Thank you everybody for joining us today, this week. Some great conversations coming up in the future, so you won't want to miss out on any of that. Again, thank you to our sponsors, BSN Essity and Actimove, which is their sports medicine wing, as well as Firefly Recovery. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all you do to support our vision, of athletic trainers. And to any other industry leaders out there, any other people looking for places to put marketing resources, if you're looking for a powerful way to connect to a dedicated community of over 2,000 athletic trainers each week, the Athletic Training Facebook group offers the perfect platform for you. If you're dedicated to advancing the athletic training profession, we are seeking sponsors aligned with our vision, ready to provide innovative tools and resources to help athletic trainers excel and better serve their patients. If you want to explore sponsorship activities with the Athletic Training Room, email our digital marketing team at 4D Digital Media, 4ddigitalmedia@gmail.com. Book a call to discuss how you can make a lasting impact in the world of athletic training and in the lives of athletes everywhere. Again, thank you everybody. Thank you to our sponsors. Hopefully this was an insightful talk for you, a little bit shorter. And we will see you next week. Take care.